There it is, the custom Xbox 360. This system has AV only with a custom printed shell and quiet fan mod. I got new thermal paste and a full console kit out with a custom built controller and hard drive. This console was featured on a YouTube video that is linked in the description below if you want to watch the actual modding and painting of this console from the actual creator that made it. That person is known as KWAK, or Trinket Tinkering King, that makes various YouTube videos of his modding process on custom Xbox consoles as well as some other stuff. His work is quite fascinating and I got inspired by his work, and here we negotiated and we worked out a deal where I will make a video and I purchased this console. The rebuilt console has a new motherboard inside of it instead of the one that I originally sent of the Xbox 360 video that was released. Thought it was an Elpis, but it actually was just a Y1. I was undereducated then and I forgot that it needed the service sticker to be an Elpis. So here we replaced the motherboard with a new one that is an actual Elpis instead of a failing Y1 that was ramping the fans up, that I got for $2.50 at the thrift store. So there it is. Let's just get straight to it and open this beautiful package up and check out that console, as I've been wanting to do since June. Alright, let's do this. Beautiful. Oh, that's got my HDD inside of it. And this is the console. So here's the console. First, let's take a look at what we have in this bag. Here we can see a new pink disk drive bezel. He supplied this just in case I wanted to swap that out. I believe I will keep this part here for a future custom build I will do of my own. It is really cool. Here is a 16 gigabyte flash drive. I just don't really actually want to use this one anymore. And here is the sticker that was on the system. So there it is. I decided to take apart and paint this power supply black, and as you can see, the job did not turn out the best. Kept the label. As you see, this is a 203 watt power supply. I wanted to take it apart and clean it, get rid of the dust. Alrighty, before we get to the main console, let's take a look at the hard drive. A custom painted hard drive shell with my SSD inside of it. It's got my gamer tag / the channel's name printed here, Sqwerks, and would you look at that? That is just beautiful. I love the holographic effect. It also glows, so we'll check that out to see the bottom's OEM. And would you look at that? It's just a standard hard drive underneath, but it's been modified with LEDs and an SSD inside of it and some custom paint on the sides there. That is nice. Alright, this here, I actually did not see or design this controller. This was 100% his doing. And, alright, that. It looks like that was printed plastic, but that's actually paint if you look at it. It's got this really nice texture on it, and it's an OEM shell. We have this clear look so you can sort of see the motherboard right there. As well as you see a custom painted battery cover to match. That's just really an OEM controller underneath. If you look at that, wow. Got some face buttons here, a green controller button, some blue accents with the orange accents down here. That is pretty sweet. Wow. This is a big deal for me, because this console I'm going to adore for a long time, as I've never really had something like custom built like this before. Like, this was painted and stuff. Like, I couldn't do this myself if I wanted to. So much unwrapping to do. Controller, just kidding. Oh man. Alright, so there's a small little problem. Unfortunately, it appears that this crack, probably in shipping, this is stuff like this happens. Like, that broke off and was loose inside. I'll probably extend this project out and get that part replaced. So there it is, the system. Now we're going to do a boot test. There we go. My hard drive is whining now. You hear that noise? Oh man. That is spectacular. Hello everybody. Now, I have a bit of an update on this system here. This console was working just fine, and the person that customized it did test it. However, the system arrived with the cracked panel up here, so he painted a new one for me already. However, he just thought that we could just have the console shipped back to him so he can replace that panel, and now he's thinking of replacing the entire motherboard again for the third time because this motherboard was overheating. He thinks it's because of the fans not being fast enough for it, possibly. I'm not really sure, but we're just gonna go for one that's a bit more power efficient. And coincidentally, I somehow have the exact power cord I need. A 175 watt power supply. So this one's just gonna stay the way it is, and then I can get a USB drive hooked up and set in here. So what are we gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing packed up, and then in about 3 weeks or so we'll get the console back again and be able to review it in its fullest potential. I'll see you guys then, which will just be 3 seconds for you. Hello everyone, I'm finally back and ready to review this console. It has been a little while, and I understand that. However, a lot of things have changed since then. The entire motherboard has been replaced, the fan has been moved to the front, the USB drive has been put behind the faceplate, and the entire console has been set up with special firmware that has unlocked its capabilities as a device, as well as I've finally started to play and use it in my own time. However, today we are finally able to review the console in its complete form. So first off, let's take a look here. As you can see, this controller is quite awesome. You have an orange right stick, an orange D-pad, a transparent back, and a chrome start button, a transparent blue left stick, some chrome RB and LB buttons, and a yellow LT and RT trigger. It is a mixture of OEM and aftermarket parts, not to mention this transparent bezel here. It is very beautiful, and I will be using this controller quite a lot, as it is the only controller I want to use with the console as it matches. We also have a transparent green function button right here. As you can see, Xbox 360. It just looks so awesome. Well, let's finally take a look at the console and see what we got here. So first off, the system has had its motherboard replaced from an Elpis to now being an Opus, which is a Falcon without the HDMI port. For somebody that doesn't know what those terms mean, simply it is a more reliable and the rarest model revision for the Xbox 360 FAT model. We'll get to that in a minute, but first, let's review its beautiful design. As you can see from the front, it is just a OEM black faceplate with a custom green bezel for the disk drive, Memory unit and memory unit B and the sync button are also the same green color. The power button is a custom XEM chrome power button that was painted with the channel's logo. And this USB door here has been painted pink with some stickers to match. As you can see from the front, it hits with this black color with this sort of gradient effect to the back of the console, as you can see, with this splattering paint-like design. It has green on the contrast, the pink down here, and some pink to contrast the green up here. And through the back, you can see that it is green up here and pink down here. That is to complement the front design. As you can see, we have a green bezel and some memory card slots that match the green design going back, as well as on the top of the console, you can see the hard drive, and if I take that off, and you can see as the vent here is green colored, which is really cool. To match the pink, we also have a pink vent on the bottom. On the other side of the console, it is the same. On the back, you can see that it is an AV-only console with now OEM fans and a power supply port that matches the 175-watt power supply, which we'll get to in a second. Unfortunately, for the hard drive up here, I learned that only certain models of SSDs are compatible with the Xbox. And unfortunately, I tried swapping to this Crucial BX500, and every hard drive I have is an incompatible model. So I need to go buy one that will be compatible, but for the time being, that is not important, as I can still play the console as I want to. There was a Noctua fan located here in the vent, however, that fan has been removed. There was two noise blocker fans located here and here, two 50mm fans, which had LED lights making them glow. However, one of those was taken and moved here, which is actually, in my opinion, much better of a decision. Let's just pop off the faceplate real quick, and I'm going to show you something. I bought this slim fit USB drive to fit in the section between the faceplate and the shell. And as you can see, it is small enough to fit between the console and the faceplate, making it barely visible and unnoticeable from the outside. It's just a piece of information for those that like to know it, but this thing has an HTG 85 GPU, X816970 experimental high TG underfill that is a reliable chip. And to put that in a bit of a more simple manner, the Elpis itself is just an experimental motherboard in the total, as just a Falcon with the HDMI port missing. Alright, let's go ahead and plug this thing in and see what it looks like. Well, I already know, but you guys don't, so I'm just going to plug in an AV cable to not get the error message on the RF board. And then here is the 175-watt power supply. Honestly, this cable is kind of awesome because you can plug in Xbox 360, Wii, and PS2 all into the same component cable, so that's pretty awesome. Anyways, let's just go ahead and do it. It looks really awesome. Immediately, you can tell that the fan is glowing sort of a blue color, and you can see it out the side there, so that's just really awesome in my opinion. And one of the biggest details I wanted is the disk drive tray to be painted in the same lime green color, which is just a really nice detail. Even though in most form and standards that after dumping a game that the disk drive is going to be obsolete, it's still nice to have it in case you need to test a game or dump a game, and it's just always nice to have there. The holographic effect is working. I'll get some better footage of that in a different sort of cinematic shot. However, as you can see, it is glowing. Yeah, this is an error that's going to keep occurring, but as the console has compatibility issues with the SSD and won't fully boot, so I have to kind of leave it a little bit unplugged. So just, let's see. There we go. And if we go to the controller, you can see that it will pair instantly. You can see the console paired to the controller as player 1. Anyways, as you can see, it is very beautiful. The green disk drive. And there's not much more to show here, I suppose, so let's go ahead and play some games on it, and I'll show you this thing running. In another room, in my new display center sort of thing where I put my Samsung monitor. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and move that over there. And so, look forward to seeing you there. Anyways, see ya. Thanks for reviewing it with me. Alright, so there's my display stand, as it is right now. First, let's go ahead and put a physical game inside to test it runs. Here I have Assassin's Creed, pretty neat. Let's take a look and see how this game runs. Alright, well, I think I'm good on that game for now. Someday I'll get through and beat that game, but just not today. As for the software I installed, that's all I need to show. This is my account so far. As you see, I've been playing Fallout 3. Not much else to show there, only 80 gamer score so far. As for everything else, it's quite empty for the time being, but I think I'm going to put a custom theme on here eventually. But let's go ahead and play some games. First off, we'll start with a classic game.
Hi, I'm Josie Mary.
Need for Speed Most Wanted. Alrighty, well, not really good at this game, so let's just try something else here. Let's just do some free roam. That error keeps appearing, there's not much I can do about it, but I'm gonna figure it out. looks like. Alright, we're gonna try some Fallout 3. This is the game I was waiting to play on this thing for quite some time. Really can't wait till Fallout 4 comes out on the Switch too, so I'm gonna try to play this to catch up with the series. This is the first Fallout game I've ever played, so it's pretty interesting. There's the error again. Hope that's, I'm gonna try and figure that out here soon. This is Fallout 3. Got the bomb megaton here. Don't stand near it, but so far this is how far I've gotten in the game. I'm supposed to talk to some guy at the brass lantern. Talk to somebody called Moriarty. I don't know how to find them. A little confused. That is a creature. Megaton Clinic. Yep, it made a sound. Oh, the double-headed cow will be another time. Let's go over here. Children of Atom. What's up here? Armory. Oh yeah, I don't want to go there. What's this? Restroom.
Good to see you. Can't even afford some damn squirrel stew.
Don't even think of breaking into that.
Was it?
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Well, goddamn. You're new, right? Name's Leo Stahl. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Yeah. Well, Moriarty thinks he is, but Lucas Sims is the law around here, and everyone knows it. See you soon. Hey, nice to see you. Everything okay? Hey, I'm not much of a...
Okay, so he doesn't know there's something going
Nope.
on around town.
Talk to you later, buddy.
Staying out of trouble, I hope. Don't want to have to waste good bullets on your sorry hide. Have a good one.
Where is that Moriarty fellow? Like, I can't find him anywhere. He's standing right there, so I'm gonna open up his house. Alrighty, so now we're finally at a saloon. This is Moriarty.
Colin Moriarty, at your service. Welcome to Moriarty's. My saloon, my home, my slice of heaven in this backwoods little burg. If you've got the caps, I've got your pleasure. Please sit down, make yourself comfortable. Your troubles are a thing of the past.
Hey Siri, what time is it?
It's 11:38 a.m.
My God, it's you. The little baby boy all grown up. Persistent little bastard, ain't you? Then and now, it would seem. It's been a long time, kid. Oh, your daddy passed through here all right. Here and gone. Got what he came for and then left. I'm assuming you'll do the same, correct? You seem like a nice kid, so I'm going to be straight with you. Your dad was here, and now he's not. And yes, I know where he went. But what you're asking me for is information, and information is a commodity. Let's say 100 cops, and Daddy's location is yours. Very reasonable.
I don't have no 100 caps. You're gonna scam me? I don't have 100
All right,
caps.
kid. Then I guess there's nothing else we have to say to each other. Come back to me when you have the caps and we'll talk. And back he comes. So, are you just thirsty? Or are you ready to pay me fee? Dear Dad's not going to find himself.
So I need to...
I own a saloon, kid. Rumors are part and parcel. So, I'll give you this one for free. Not sure if you've met her, but Lucy West, that pretty young thing, she's afraid. Of what, of who, I couldn't say. But you can feel the fear on her. You got memory problems, kid? You ain't getting something for nothing. So pony up the 300 caps and then we'll talk. Didn't you say that last time too? I have a feeling you'll be coming back again.
Alright, yeah. So I don't have the money to pay him, or the caps, and so it's gonna be a little while.
Cut it out!
So we'll just save.
Anything on your mind?
finish that race, but you got the idea of that game. So anyways, just thank you guys for watching. I'm just going to conclude now with the video. So I'll see you guys on the next video. Please subscribe if you want to see some more content like this. Anyways, bye-bye.